is very special to West Pelzer, and I have to tell you the history before I tell you why the 100 years is so special. So in 1913, a guy by the name of John Franks, who worked for Pelzer Manufacturing, was a little upset that Pelzer Manufacturing and Captain Smythe didn't allow one thing, and that was dogs to be had by the general public. And so Mr. Franks walked across the railroad tracks to the business district of unincorporated Pelzer and started the town of Frankville in 1913. 5 years later, it was renamed by resolution to the town of West Pelzer. And so in 1918, we became West Pelzer. And so this is our 100 years of being named West Pelzer and 105 years of being in existence.
And didn't dancing have something to do with it too?
There was a lot of dancing involved. So West Pelzer we used to close down the street for a lot of festivals, and that's what we were known for. We were known for a place where you could come and gamble, the business district, a place where you could walk your dog. And so regularly, council would close off the street for sock hops and dancing, music festivals. And so now it's time to start remembering our past, preserving it, but also kind of making sure that we promote where we're going. And so that's why the 100-year celebration was important, so that we could remember where we've come from and where we're going.
Now, are there a lot of citizens here who can remember most of the history still?
There are a few citizens who do remember the original days. When I was actually running for mayor, I talked to a lot of the older citizens and asked them what did they want West Pelzer to be, and they kept going back to, we need more festivals, we need more engagement with the citizens. And so we started by closing off the streets and playing music out in the streets to really just, again, remembering our past and remembering that culture, and it's still relevant today. Unfortunately, we lost one of our older citizens this past week, Thelma Durham, who originated by starting Boots and Thelma's restaurant in the 50s. And story goes, she used to stand at the traffic signal in a bathing suit to wave people onto Main Street in West Pelzer to eat at her restaurant. And so we're sad that we lost her, but again, that restaurant is still flourishing strong today under new ownership. And it's important that, again, that we remember that past and tell people how we're taking that and moving forward.
Now, and since you've been mayor, you have really tried to bring a lot of progressive ideas. You keep talking about the best is yet to come. So from a spinoff of an old mill community to where we are today, where's West Pelzer today and where's it going?
Sure. So West Pelzer's come a long way in the past 4 years. We were at about 79% vacancy in our downtown. We had a couple of thrift stores, wasn't a whole lot going on. And so we firmly believe that the government should take the first step in that reinvigoration of Main Street. So we spent $500,000 on a new building to move our municipal center, which has spurred about $8 million in growth and development over the past 4 years. So that equates to 20 plus new homes, 5 new businesses that are opened up. And I always say the best is yet to come because I believe it is. And I believe that the grand gallery that we open up next month and unveil April the 2nd at our council meeting is the next best thing. I believe that the 40 plus new homes that have been under consideration and will go to the Planning Commission next month is huge. That's the best is yet to come. So at 15% growth for our residents, that's great, but we want to make sure, again, that we preserve the qualities of where we're at. We want to keep that small town feel. And so what's next? I hope that we can start to see the specialty grocery store, the butcher shop, the wine shop. Those are the next things that will be relevant in West Pelzer. I said just this week, over the past 30 to 60 days, I've been contacted by a Thai restaurant, a brewery, a brew pub. So West Pelzer we're on the map. People are realizing that we're a corridor between Greenville and Anderson, between 385 and 85, and they're seeing the potential that West Pelzer has as a great place to live, work, play, and learn.
You grew up here, right?
I did.
Now, growing, and your parents are still here, and they run
They are.
Antiques.
They do.
Did you, when you were growing up here, did you ever think that you would be a part of the future of West Pelzer?
I did not. I swore when I was in high school that I would never move back to a small town. I swore when I was in college that I wanted to live in a big city. And I interned in Atlanta for about 3 months and found out really fast that big cities weren't for me. My wife and I, when we were married, we moved to just outside of downtown Greenville. Loved the atmosphere of being able to walk to restaurants, walk our dog down the streets, and just kind of haphazardly one day after leaving church in town, we drove by a home and they were pushing the for sale sign by owner sign in the ground. And so we stopped and looked at it, and my wife said, I don't think I want to live in a small town. I think we just need to keep our city life. And fortunately or unfortunately, I bought a house that night and had to break the news to her the next day that we had purchased a house in West Pelzer and we'd be putting roots here. Immediately when we moved, though, there are those qualities of life that Greenville has, that Anderson has, that Fountain Inn is starting to create, that West Pelzer has the potential to do as well. A place to walk, a place to bike, a great park in town, a government that appreciates its citizens and is willing to work with them. And so government's all scalable, and I saw a chance to get involved and truly make a difference. As a landscape architect, I get to travel the country a lot of times and work on projects that are very similar in West Pelzer. And now being the planning director for the city of Easley, I'm working on projects that we could implement here. And so while you see Greenville progressing or Easley progressing or Walhalla progressing, West Pelzer has those same qualities. We just may be 1 to 3 years behind what some of those other cities are currently doing.
Well, people who are moving and are looking for some place in Anderson County, why would you tell them to come to West Pelzer to put down roots?
Sure. So West Pelzer, again, has those same qualities as the big city. You can walk to the grocery store, you can walk to church. Some things you can do here that you can't do anywhere else is know your neighbor. You can still walk across the street and borrow some sugar, so you don't have to go to the grocery store. We're the first city north of Anderson and the first city south of Greenville. We're 5 minutes from the interstate, and so we want to be a place where you raise a family, where your kids go to school at, but we understand that we don't have the employment opportunities in West Pelzer, and so we're okay being that bedroom community, so that 8 to 5, maybe you do leave our city, but we want to, when you come back home, we want the veterans to sit on your porch, we want the school kids to walk through your garden, we want you to be engaged in our community, and that's one thing that some of the bigger cities can't offer to you.
James R. Riddle Sr., Mayor Pro Tem.
Now, how long have you lived in West Pelzer?
Last go around about 20 years. Been here about 20 years. I was born in Pelzer at the old hospital down there, and have lived Pelzer, Piedmont, and the whole area pretty much all my life.
And what do you think about the 100th anniversary celebration today?
Well, I wasn't here when it started. A lot of people think that might be the case, but not missing it by far. Like I say, born in 1946, and been around a while. It's great. West Pelzer is, I remember it from the good old days, so to speak, when it was a lot of businesses on Main Street here and things were booming. And then as things changed, the mills left, the jobs left, the businesses left. But now they're coming back. We've got a great mayor, and it's just really done wonders. No time, less than his first term, less than 4 years.
I actually grew up in Pelzer, but I've always lived either in Pelzer, West Pelzer, or Wempston.
And what do you think is special about West Pelzer, this community?
Well, what's special about it is, all the events and stuff we have, and we have the best mayor around.
And do you think it's important that y'all take time to celebrate this 100th anniversary here?
I think it's very important. It brings the community together. Gets everybody out talking amongst each other and socializing,
So it's pretty important to the community?
Yes, it is.
Do most of the folks here still kind of have that hometown, kind of know each other?
Yeah, most of them do, yeah.
And I guess you've lived here a long time, you've really seen it growth. What are some of the changes you've seen?
Well, used to, they didn't never have no events or nothing for people to do, and, but now they got different events all during the year for people to come out to, and just gives them something to do.
Now, how long have you lived in West Pelzer?
36 years or so.
So how have you seen it change since you've been here?
Drastic changes. My grandfather was mayor when I was a child, so I've seen the inner workings of the politics even back then, but the concern was always infrastructure. Everybody was focused on infrastructure and what we could do to update our water and sewer lines. And my grandfather initiated that back in the late 70s, early 80s. And that consumed everybody's time and effort for
And what was his name?
30 years. Johnny Gaines. He was mayor from 66 to 89 when he passed away in 89. But the infrastructure problems just consumed everything, and we finished those projects up a couple of years ago. And since then, we've seen new businesses come in, we've seen new homes developed, subdivisions developed, and a lot more coming. So that was the groundwork. We had to get that done and then focus on the fun things, the growing things.
Why is it important to take a day to celebrate this 100th anniversary?
There's a lot of things that don't make it 100 years. We did. We've struggled. We've had good times, bad times, but 100 years is a big deal. So we're just proud to still be here.
Now, what do you think's coming for the future of West Pelzer?
Big things are coming. I have no doubt. We get calls weekly of businesses wanting to come to town. We've got people moving here from New York and Florida, and you know, we're not growing from within anymore. We're bringing in new people with new ideas, and I have no doubt there's better things to come.
Well, and that's the last question is people that might watch this and are looking to relocate somewhere in the county, why would they want to think about moving to West Pelzer?
West Pelzer is home. It's you can walk the streets, you can sit in the park, you've got all of your basic necessities within walking distance. Good restaurants, good people. We're a community that's home.
It is West Pelzer's 100th Centennial, and you're out here to help celebrate. Chad, what you got anything you want to say to the town?
Yeah, happy birthday, West Pelzer. So glad to come out and see it, wanted to come out and support it. And I think Mayor Blake is just doing a great job. So excited about his leadership, and he's just so creative. And so I'm just glad to see things moving and shaking here in West Pelzer. So glad to come out and be a part of it today.
We're out here today for West Pelzer's 100th anniversary celebration. West Pelzer's a great little town, great community with a vibrant Main Street. They've done so much to revitalize this area and to pump new dollars and growth into West Pelzer. It's great to just walk from one end of town to the other and grab lunch, shop, and just hang out in the sunshine. So we love West Pelzer. It's a great part of Anderson County, and we hope that you'll come down here and see us and maybe think of moving your business or house to this area.